Hi everyone, this is my video post for this week's discussion, Survival of the Sneakiest. Question 1. What does fitness mean in evolutionary terms? When it comes to cricket fitness, what features do they benefit from having to promote reproduction? In evolutionary terms, fitness is the average number of offspring produced by parents with a particular genotype compared to the number of offspring produced by parents with another genotype. It is how characteristics get passed on from generation to generation. Oftentimes, those characteristics are ones that benefit the species. For crickets, the male uses his chirp to attract females. This benefits the male by appealing to females, making them come over to the chirping male. However, as we learned from the cartoon, sneaky crickets can intercept the attracted female from the chirping male. The sneaky crickets have the ability to determine that they can intercept the female without actually having to use their call. Question 2. Although calling is the dominant trait in the cricket population in the cartoon, explain reasons why sometimes it is good versus reasons why calling can be bad or risky. Calling, or chirping, is good for the male to attract females because it alerts females to the male that's ready to mate. The female might not know that there is a male that's ready to mate otherwise. This can be risky because it can let other males know about a female that is coming over to the chirping male, and then they can intercept the chirping male, and then the chirping male doesn't get the chance to reproduce. It can also be risky because it can alert predators to the location of the chirping cricket, and then they can get eaten, and then they don't have a chance to reproduce. Question 3. Describe 3 different situations in the story where the cricket is accidentally eliminated from mating, thus unable to pass along his cricket genes. The 3 different situations in this story are pretty unfortunate for the cricket. The first is when he is intercepted by the sneaky cricket, so because he's intercepted, he doesn't have the opportunity to mate with the female. The second is when the chirping male is eaten by a predator, in this case a bat, so he can no longer reproduce because he's been eaten. And the third is when the human male telling the story accidentally steps on the cricket and he can no longer reproduce because he's no longer alive. Question 4. Ultimately, would you say that the pattern of natural selection that is currently at work in the population of crickets in the story is stabilizing, directional, or disruptive? I argue that directional selection is at work in the cricket story. The selection for the chirping characteristic is more favorable because the chirping cricket will ultimately reproduce more often by attracting females to mate with, even though at times they may fail due to the sneaky crickets or predators. Without the chirping characteristic, the females would have a harder time seeking out a mate, therefore less offspring would be produced. And question 5. In what specific ways does the environment influence the practice of cricket calling? The temperature in a cricket's environment plays a role in their calling or their chirping. Crickets chirp more often if it's hotter, so you can argue that warmer environments that support the cricket calling would support more reproduction. Possibly there could be more reproduction taking place in warmer climates or in warmer months of the year. All right, this concludes my video post.